How many of you realize that there's a big difference between your character and your behavior? This is a big problem. A lot of people think that the way they behave is who they are, when the way you behave really is a manifestation of external situations, your environmental conditions, somebody pushing your buttons. It is not who you are. And we're all human, so we're all prone to behave the same way or have the same reaction to certain things. For example, if you stump your toe, most human beings who stump their toe have the same response. There's an expletive that comes forth. You're like, what the heck? You stump your toe, you don't say, well, that was, a horrible thing to happen to my toe, and my toe is broken, or my toe. No, you scream. You scream at the top of your voice. You're like, oh, MG, my foot hurts. You start crying. The reaction is the same. When a baby falls, a baby cries. When a baby is hungry, a baby cries. When a baby is not getting attention, the baby cries. That's universal for all babies. So what makes you think that human beings, whether men or women, do not have the same universal responses to a lot of stuff? Our responses to things result in our behavior. It is not our character. It is very difficult for most people to make a distinction between character and behavior, but it's necessary, because I have clients that come to me all the time that truly believe that their behavior is indicative of who they are. Of course, there are times when that is true. If you're a thief, your behavior is signifying that there's some flaw with your character, that something in you is making you steal. Or if you're a liar, yeah, that might be a character flaw, but the behavior that manifests is you lying. So there are times when you have to be very much aware of when it's a character flaw or when it is behavior. Just because I yell does not make me a bad person. Just because I respond to someone taunting me does not make me a bad person. Just because I get angry does not make me a bad person. Anger is a natural response. That's why I talked about, slamming your toe just now. Anger is a natural response in a human being. But for many people, they tend to believe that because they get angry, that makes them a bad person. No, it doesn't make you a bad person unless you become Jeffrey Dahmer or a serial killer or someone like that character. But for most of us, it is a natural response to exhibit certain behavior when that behavior is prompted. Of course, there's a measure of control. You have to control your behavior. That's a whole different thing. I'm not talking about controlling your behavior. I'm talking about the fact where you need to first identify and separate your behavior from your character. Why am I talking about this? Because it's an issue. Most people that come to me really believe they're horrible people because of behavior they have exhibited. Now, let me say this as a sidebar. We live in a world where judgment runs rampant, where people judge you and they judge you for things that you've done in your past. I remember when my mom was alive and I did something, she'd be like, you've always been like this, or you always did this. Or, back in 1960, I'm not going to say the number, but back in the 1960s, she still judged me based on my behavior back then. I remember when I was going home to Barbados, before my mom died, one of my aunts was judging me based on what she remembered about me when I was 23 years old. It was almost like 20 years have passed, but she still expected me to behave and act like the same person I was when I was young. You are changing, and as you change, growth is a part of the process. And if the behaviors that you are exhibiting right now or have exhibited last week or a month ago or 10 years ago are still visible, what's happening is that those behaviors have become habitual. And every single habit that is habit forming can also be changed. Habits can be changed. Character cannot. It takes a lot of work to change somebody's character, and it takes that person to be complicit to want to change. But most behavior can be changed. If you learn the behavior, you can unlearn the behavior. That's the philosophy. That's psychology. If it's a learned behavior, it can also be unlearned. So who you are right now, who you believe you are, you can change that. You can change that by determining your spirit and determining right now that you want to become better, that you don't want to participate in this behavior anymore. So behavior and character are different. So that's just one aspect of how it affects people. But here's another way in which this is a big issue. I have also met a lot of people that see their weight as who they are. You know, you may be 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, and all of a sudden you're thinking, this is who I am. My weight is indicative of the person that I am. No, that's why we don't lose weight. We don't lose weight because we take the two, the weight gain and who we are, and we mesh them together. No, the reason you're not losing weight is because you forgot who you were. Like the movie Lion King, remember who you are, Simba. You forgot who you were. And who you are is someone who has the character that can lose the weight. You can be determined. Determination is something that is inside of all of us. We're determined to do things. I think a lot of people don't realize their determination because they only apply to certain aspects of their life and they don't apply to the totality of their life. But think about this. You're determined. If you're a smoker and you're overweight and you didn't have money to buy cigarettes, I know you will get a cigarette. You will, what is it, bum a cigarette off someone, or you will buy that pack of cigarettes. The same determination that it takes you to keep the habit of smoking going is the same determination it takes to lose the weight, if you want to lose the weight. Because many people may not want to lose the weight because they're comfortable in their skin. And that, as a society, we judge them for because we look at people that are overweight and we think they're less than, or that is a bad thing. It is not easy to gain weight. It is not easy to put on the weight. Trust me, I've battled with weight gain my whole life, and eating is not something you can just shut off because you need to eat in order to live. But again, you're looking at your behavior. The behavior is that you are no longer disciplined, and you're taking that behavior and you're saying, because I'm no longer disciplined, that I'm a bad person. No, 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 no. You are a great person. You're an awesome person. You need to reach deep down inside and pull out the best of you so you can address the issue that has manifested to show you that there's a problem with yourself. And that's simple. Behavior and character are two different things. It's very disheartening when I meet some beautiful women, and because they're overweight, or men, and they say to themselves, you know what? This makes me not a good person because I'm not disciplined. Just because you're not disciplined doesn't mean you're not a good person. Did you give to the poor? Did you feed the hungry? Do you love babies? All those things need to also be considered in your character. Your character is not the sum of your behavior. The character is deeper and is stronger than your behavior. But when you tend to forget that as a human being, what happens is you digress to a place where your behavior is where you judge yourself from. Stop judging yourself from your behavior. Your behavior is the output. Figure out who you are. Remember who you are. Write down a list of your character traits. Who are you? What do you like about yourself? What do people like about you? If you can hold on to your character and remember the things that make you truly a good person, then the manifestation of the things that you don't like your weight or your behavior, they don't take you over. They don't invade your mind. They don't make you come into this false sense of illusion that your behavior is who you are. I have always been aware of my behavior. I have not always been in control of my behavior, but I've always been aware that there's a separate thing between my behavior, my actions, and who I am. And I've also been aware that I can choose to change my actions because I can choose to change. Change is something that is a requirement and is based on you wanting to change. If you don't want to change, nobody in this God world can make you change. I have found that. You can't help people who do not want to be helped. And if you choose not to be helped, then not even you can help yourself. So it all starts here. And the first thing that needs to be recognized is that today, if you understand that your character and your behavior are different, then you can say, you know what? I am a good person who is struggling with an issue, and I can address this issue head on because I realize the issue is not bigger than me. The issue is not who I am. The issue is a manifestation of something that has complicated who I am. We all get weak. We all get tired. But weakness is not an indication of who you are. Weakness, just because you exhibit weakness, it does not mean that you're a weak person. My name is Ingrid Felton. As always, thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. I always look forward to seeing you here. Please subscribe to the videos, like the videos, share the videos, tell others about the videos, and also visit my website, thejourneyofTruth.com, for more information or to get in touch with me to book a session. Again, thank you for showing up, and I truly look forward to seeing you again. And remember, your character and your behavior totally separate, two different issues. Goodbye.